Guys, so a little bit of a different video from me today. I've been meaning to make this video for a little while now, but something has just come up and I've just never got around to recording it. And I've also been trying to sort of get my thoughts in order because I don't want this video to offend anybody. I just want to put my thoughts out there. I don't want anyone to take offence because this is not what this video is about. This is a video response to Richard Denny's video on affording BookTube. I really enjoyed his video and I think he really put across points that needed to be said. And I also really enjoyed my friend Rob from Rob's Reading Roundup, his video response. But it was a topic that sort of hit me, and so I thought I want to put my thoughts out there because it is a relevant discussion. So I just wanted to really throw my hat into the ring and put my thoughts out there. I definitely feel like BookTube can have a pressurizing effect on people. People feel the need to do what everybody else is doing. And I think that you can put that on any kind of genre on YouTube. The beauty gurus, the gamers, everyone has to keep up with everybody else. Like it's keeping up with the Joneses, everybody has to do what everybody else is doing. I think that's natural for any community, that people are going to feel the need to do what everyone else is doing. But what I like about YouTube is that everybody can also do their own thing. Like everyone doesn't have to read the same books, doesn't have to use the same editing software, doesn't have to have the same background. The option is there for everyone to still be unique. And I think that's something that people sometimes forget, because you see people subscribers and you think, oh, if I'm going to get that amount of views, that amount of subscribers, I need to do the same thing as them. I need to haul the same amount of books as them. I need to haul the same books as them. And I think that's something that maybe everyone goes through this stage on BookTube. I think it's sort of inevitable. But sort of the way I think about it now is that what would you do if you weren't making BookTube videos? How would you get your books to read if you weren't making videos? You just have to do the same. You don't have to own all the books to make books videos. You can go to the library, you can go to used bookshops, charity shops, if it's cheaper in the long run to buy ebooks, and I know a lot of the time it is, and there's even book swap groups. I know there are a few groups on Goodreads that you can basically, if you finish with a book, you can swap that book for another book that you want. There's quite a few of those groups on Goodreads, so there are options there to save money. But I was just thinking about it. If I wasn't making BookTube videos, I would still be getting my books in the same way. I would still mostly, for the most part, be buying my books. I am in the fortunate situation where I receive a generous amount of books for review, but it wasn't always that way. When I first started blogging and booktubing, I was getting my books the same way. I was mostly buying my books. The amount of books that I can buy now has changed as I've gotten older, and as sort of my job has changed and things like that. I'm in the financial position now where I can maybe buy more books than I could when I first started. But I'm also now I'm at the point where I can also be sent books to review. Not all the books. I still buy the majority of my books. But yeah, it just occurred to me, if you weren't making videos, how would you be getting your books? You just have to do it the same approach. You don't need to change your patterns and the way that you do things just because you're now making videos. There's no point in really doing that. Also, I wanted to say that people with large book hauls, including myself, I feel like sometimes they can be made to feel guilty because they have big book hauls and because maybe someone else isn't in the same position. I don't want people with big book hauls to feel guilty. Just because they're in the position that they can do that, they shouldn't be able to feel bad. They shouldn't stop doing their hauls just because some people feel bad. That is life. This is what you're going to have in life. Someone is always going to have more than you. There's always going to be someone else better off or worse off than you. Someone's going to have a better car than you. Someone's going to have a better job than you. Someone's going to have a better house than you. It's just going to be life. Someone's going to be able to have more than you. And I don't want that to sound bitchy, but that is just how it's always going to be. I watch a lot of big YouTubers and I think, oh, I love their bookshelves, I love their massive room, I love their huge library. I don't have that. And it's a way of life. You are always going to feel envious of someone else more than you. That's just natural. I don't want that to sort of have negative repercussions on YouTube, because people are starting to feel jealous, and it's a jealousy that is negative. You can be envious and you can be jealous of what someone has, but you don't have to take that to make that person feel bad. You can just see that they have more than you, accept it, appreciate what you can have for yourself, and go from there. Because people that have book hauls, they're just sharing it to the community to say, this is what I'm going to be reading. I don't think anything is ever put out there to make people feel bad. I know myself, I go for monthly book hauls purely because of the time for filming and things like that. I can't put up more than one book haul a month. So my book hauls always look big because they are what is accumulated in a month. And bearing in mind, I don't buy all of those books. Some of those books are review. So they always seem a little bit overwhelming. And I know recently I did start to feel that little bit of guilt. But then I have comments on my video saying, oh, I love watching big book hauls, thank you. So it's always going to be a little bit of give and take, I think. I sometimes feel like the books that I show can come across as excessive, but like I say, they are accumulated over like a month period, because then by the time I get to record them, that's now what I do, is a book haul a month, because I don't like to put loads of book hauls all together. So I kind of spread them out now and have a monthly book haul. But I know a lot of things were raised about how to afford these books and things like that. I'm in a position where obviously I do work, and it's not a case of everyone wanting to share their finances, but I don't go out sort of on the town. I don't spend money like going out with friends and things. Obviously we go to the cinema and things like that occasionally, but see, my younger brother, he'll go out on the town with his friends, and he'll say spend £60 at an evening in clubs and like a casino and things like that, where I don't do that. I would rather take that £60 that I have, say, that I haven't had to spend on bills and travel to and from work, and I would rather spend that on what is my main hobby, which is reading. I would rather have 6 hardback books than go out one evening and spend it on drinks and casinoing. That's my personal preference. I would rather spend the money that I can on books than I would on things like that. Obviously I have my priorities. I have like my bills and, like I say, my travel and things to and from work and my phone bills, all of that has to come first. But what I can spend on books, I like to spend on books because it makes me feel good, it makes me happy, I enjoy buying books, and I am perfectly capable of doing that. That is what I enjoy doing. So yeah, basically I wanted this book discussion to kind of be positive, to say like both sides of the argument. People with big book hauls, we don't know everything about their financial situation. Just because they can buy books, that's their choice to buy books, they shouldn't feel bad. And then on the other hand, people that maybe don't have as much, there are ways for you to get your books. There are ways for everyone to be reading. We shouldn't be concentrating on how people are getting these books, or how people are affording these books, or how much they have. We should just be concentrating on the books, on the reading, people's thoughts on books, and sharing them, not taking things too far and making people feel guilty on both sides, people that can't afford books and people that can afford books. That is just the natural way of things. You're going to face that in every situation, not just on BookTube. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts on this topic down below. I hope that I didn't come across as bitchy, because I did not want that. I'm just trying to think in my mind both sides, and yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.